Okay, so today we're going to talk about how to build a high profit, low cost business with AI agents. So, who is this for? This is for small business and agency owners who are struggling to scale their business, small teams who know if they increase headcount, the quality of the service will decline, managers who are working 10 plus hours a day just trying to keep up with their current workload, and customer success, salespeople, and recruiters who are spending more time on prep and not enough time actually building relationships with their customers, prospects, or candidates. And what you're going to learn are what exactly AI agents are, how AI agents can take over entire roles in your company, not just tasks, how we actually build these agents, the cost to run a team of AI agents, and our custom AI agent framework that can be dropped into almost any agency style business, right? And so the details. We're going to go over an overview of AI agents. We're going to talk about the foundational components that each agent needs and agent team needs. We're going to talk about the platforms that we use. They're all no code. We're going to talk about how to design your AI agent teams in a way where you can reliably delegate entire job functions to them. And then we're going to talk about how to get started with your first AI agent. And the whole point of all of this is to switch your mindset from hiring, training, and firing more people in order to scale your business to learning how to build a team of AI agents, use AI to get massive leverage inside your business, and to scale a high profit, low cost business in the 21st century. We fully believe that the future of scaling businesses will be on the back of AI agents and AI in general, rather than hiring more people generally, right? People will come into play, but people will come into play when it's time to get 10x or 100x productivity and output at a higher cost, right? As opposed to kind of like lower level activities that AI should be able to do at this point, right? And so, just so we're clear, I'm not an AI engineer. I don't know how to code. Everything that I've learned has been self taught. And like many of you, I'm just looking to use AI to help my business make more money at the end of the day. I don't care about the AI hype. I don't care what the AI influencers are saying. I don't care about all the new fancy toys. I just want to build something that actually works. And we've been on this journey for a while. We've done everything from building custom AI applications to like for clients to building our own AI applications, right? Trying to build a SaaS product powered by AI, to now where we're at, which is building AI agents and our primary focus being on building AI agents. This is where we see the future going. And like I said, we worked on a number of projects. We built a chatbot that helps renters navigate the eviction process in Massachusetts. And whenever it's time, we connect them with a lawyer, right? We've worked with a fractional CRO on a couple of projects, building them a content creator for their clients to use that's embedded into her client portal, right? It's like another feature or a service perk that she adds that allows her to provide more value to her clients in general, right? And it can create content that's probably 80 to 90% as good as what a human would do, but that's not the point, right? The point is to get them from zero to a really good rough draft faster, right? For the same client, we built a strategy roadmap generator, which would intake a bunch of information about the clients, their business, their goals, and output a 12-month strategy roadmap for how to increase their revenue. This is something that she would have done manually, and it's something that she does do for all of her clients. But usually it takes a long onboarding kickoff call to learn about the client and their goals, and then maybe a week to actually put together this very detailed strategy roadmap. And then you hop on another call at the end of that week to go over it with the client to see where things are misaligned, right? With this, the client signs up, they get sent the AI, they do all the questions at the beginning, and then at the end, probably about 20 minutes, it outputs the entire strategy roadmap. And then when she hops on a call with them, it's about going over the strategy roadmap, fixing any changes that need to be fixed, obviously, but you're actually talking about the roadmap itself as opposed to having a couple different calls and a bunch of time in between to develop it to begin with, to then talk about it, right? So it's taking them from they sign up to they're seeing immediate value. It's taking that from a week to like a day, right? And then we built our own application. So we built an application that allows investors to talk to 10K filings, SEC filings. So a 10K is just an annual report that every public company submits to the SEC. It's a publicly available document. And it's very valuable for investors. It has a bunch of information in there that investors use to make their investment decisions. And so we built obviously kind of like a chatbot, but a more impressive chatbot that allows people to talk to those documents. We built an AI agent lead generation team, which is one of my proudest things, which is a lead goes from a cold lead that's in your CRM to a booked qualified call on your calendar. All of the steps in between there, we built an AI agent lead gen team that kind of handles that stuff, right? It nurtures them, it books the call, and everything. Personal AI agent, this is one that I use a lot. It has access to my calendar, it has access to my email, it has access to all of our data that's scattered around the various different platforms that we use, like Trello and Google Drive and whatever it is. And it's kind of like that one central place where I can access whatever piece of data I want. It can send emails on my behalf. It can set up calendar events on my behalf. I can say things like schedule a meeting for me and Andrew tomorrow, and email Andrew telling him to come prepared with, our financial documents or whatever, right? So it'll schedule the meeting and then it'll go and send the email, right? It's pretty handy. And then we've obviously built various agents and automations along the way. So let's jump in. What are AI agents in general? Well, very simply put, they're just LLMs that have the ability to take action. So imagine ChatGPT had the ability to not just draft that email, but actually go and send that email, right? It had the ability to not just read the inbound email, but it could categorize it and then also go and conduct research on that person based on their name, whatever, right? So it's just an LLM, which is like the brain, but it can actually like take actions, right? We primarily use LLMs to make powerful chatbots that can be trained on a knowledge base of data and answer questions based on that information, right? That's ChatGPT style stuff. Agents take this a step further by allowing the brain to not only make decisions, but to also take actions based on those decisions. To do this, we give LLMs tools. Much like you need tools to build, create, and destroy, an LLM needs tools to do the same. By giving LLMs tools and teaching them how to use those tools, we are giving them agency, hence AI agents. And they're so powerful because they can be embedded into almost every aspect of your business. They can operate your lead gen activities. They can communicate with your clients. They can extract revenue from dead lead lists. They can provide additional value to your clients. They can recruit and train new team members. They can reduce the cost to scale your business. They can automate repetitive tasks and so many more things, right? And so let's go through kind of broadly each aspect of the business: sales and marketing, onboarding, customer success, project management, hiring and recruiting. Let's go through all 5 aspects of a business, not finance, but all the others, and see where they can be embedded. So they can obviously help with content creation and cold outreach, personalizing the outreach, personalizing the content, doing research. They can enrich leads by scraping LinkedIn profiles or company websites and adding that info to the CRM. They can qualify leads by engaging with your leads in DMs or email or even over the phone and actually ask the qualifying questions. And if they're qualified, schedule the call. They can nurture leads by using the research that was done to share relevant case studies or videos or trainings or any pieces of content that it thinks would resonate well with that kind of lead. It can obviously schedule and book the meetings. It can prep salespeople for meetings, right? By using the information that exists, creating a brief, sending it to the salesperson, right? Or customer success person, whoever. It can draft and send follow-up emails. It can draft and create proposals and contracts, right? And send them if need be. And then now let's say you've done all the sales and marketing, someone signs up, they're ready to go. It can send the welcome emails. It can set up the kickoff calls. It can collect all of the information that you need pre-kickoff call. So when you actually hop on the kickoff call, the agent will have collected all of the info that's needed, right? It can organize info and do client support. So let's say that part of your onboarding process is getting clients signed up for specific platforms, right? Instead of you spending half the kickoff call just helping them through the setup process, have the agent do that instead. So when you're actually on the call, you're getting more stuff done as opposed to just doing some of the setup right in the beginning. And this overall improves the experience for the client in general, right? And for the employees as well, but it improves the experience for the client. Questions that they need answered get answered right away, and their satisfaction levels increase in general. So now customer success. Let's say you had an agent that's constantly tracking where your clients were what their sentiment was for your service, and then lets you know at the end of the week, hey, this client, seems that the engagement from this client has went down. Should we check in with the customer success person to see what's going on? It can handle feedback. So a lot of times people set up automations to collect testimonials, or they forget in general to collect testimonials and case studies from clients that have had really good experiences. An agent can go ahead and do that stuff for you, right? Or if it's obviously bad feedback, it collects that information and then lets the team know what's going on. Client-specific agents. This is one that I like a lot, which is you give each of your clients a specific agent that has access to their projects and tasks, and maybe some of their documents as well. So it knows exactly what's going on with that specific client, right? And then renewal prep and upsell opportunity. So when it comes time to renew the client, obviously you want to have the information ready, right, to hop on the call and discuss the exact experience that the client has gone through with you, right? And then any upsell opportunity. So like throughout the process of working with you, they've experienced this a certain pain point, right? And you have the right service offering to offer them, but maybe there was miscommunication along the way, or the customer success person didn't quite pick that up. The agent can identify that and then give it to you as like an upsell opportunity, right? And then client engagement, obviously the simple stuff, scheduling emails, sending check-in emails about how things are going, etc. And then overall enhancing the relationship, right? It boosts client satisfaction, strengthens relationships, and improves employee experience overall. So instead of your employees handling mundane common questions, or just getting a document that's already in the email chain, the common headaches that a customer success person experiences, an agent can relieve those. Project management, obviously scheduling meetings, right? Then task management has access to your Trello or Asana or your ClickUp or wherever you're managing your task. It has access to that stuff. And so it can update, change, create tasks. Sales handoff. So a lot of times a salesperson has built a relationship with the prospect over the course of months, and now it's time to hand it off to the project manager. A lot of that information kind of gets lost in translation, or you have to spend an hour on the call. Your salesperson, project manager, spend an hour on a call just talking about this stuff. When the reality is, all of that information should be saved in meeting notes. Any of the notes that the salesperson had, they should have just added it in there. And then an agent can go and package that information up and send it to the project manager. There was no need for the call to begin with. Real-time updates, obviously tracking the progress, document management, self-explanatory, logging the data. So any interactions or decisions that are made throughout the project process, it's logging that information, saving it into the database so we can use it for later. And then just overall enhances the support, not just for your clients, but for your project managers as well. And overall just reducing churn in general. HR and recruiting is a pretty straightforward one. This is the last one. Automates the screening process, obviously. Coordinates the interviews. Helps with candidate engagement. So sometimes, what do people say? What do candidates always hate? They hate the ghosting, or you haven't gotten back to them in a week or 2 weeks, and they're kind of they want a job, right? They're really, a lot of times candidates are on a time crunch just as much as hiring managers are, recruiters are. So sending personalized updates is important. Getting feedback from hiring managers is really important. This is another one of those hour-long conversations that happens, or 30-minute long conversation that happens between recruiters and hiring managers that doesn't actually need to happen. It can just gather that information and send it to the recruiter after the call. Offer letters, obviously, and then comprehensive support in general. So taking them from a candidate saw the job post and applied to now they're actually onboarding at your company. An agent can be, or a team of agents can be involved in that entire process, optimizing it, right? Making it go faster, smoother. AI agents can be embedded into every aspect of your business. This is kind of the key takeaway about AI agents in general as we finish the overview section, is that they can literally be embedded into every aspect of your business, because every aspect of business is collecting, sharing, manipulating, organizing, sending information in one way or another, right? And that actually ends up being a huge time suck for most people in most jobs, especially white collar work. So let's talk about the foundational components to actually building these agents. We need a vector database. We need data capture and RAG automations, retrieval augmented generation automations. We need tools, we need prompts, and we need integrations. So a vector database. for agents to be reliable and truly remove the need to make another hire, they need to have contextual knowledge about your business. They need to know what's going on inside your business up to the minute. And the best type of database for AI is a vector database. So what's a vector database? It's a three-dimensional database that relates tokens together by creating a vector associated with each token. So a token is just 4 characters. Let's say you had the word antagonist. The ANTA, those 4 characters, that's a token. So each token, we vectorize it. We basically just give it a number. This token equals this number. And then we place that vector in a 3-dimensional database. And then as more vectors come in, they're all related to each other based on some relational value, right? Based on the number. And so it gets a little bit technical, but really, whenever you're creating like an AI thing, like let's say you create if you created a chatbot before, a lot of them say like add to your knowledge base, right? Or add files to like your custom GPT or whatever. What's happening is you're adding the file, it's vectorizing all of the data in the file and just putting it in a vector database. That's all that's happening. So we need to create one for our agents so that way they have like the knowledge base, the contextual information to do what they need to do, right? And then data capture and RAG automations. We set up these automations to capture all of the data that's streaming in and out of your business at every entry and exit point. And then we add that information into the database so that way the agents are constantly kept up to date about what's going on, right? And then we need RAG automations to ensure that the agents can actually retrieve that information when needed, right? And so there's ways that you set this up that if you do it wrong, it's just not going to work. And it's easy to tell when it doesn't work, right? Because it's just going to spit out nonsense. And then we build tools. So your agent doesn't actually become an agent until you give it tools, right? At that point, it's just a chatbot. It's just a brain, right? Tools are what gives it agency. And the tools are what allows it to complete its tasks and the workflows you need it to do. So if I can quickly show you, I don't know if you can see my face, but if you can see my cursor, this is an agent. This is the database here, the vector database. And these are the various tools that it has access to. And we can continue to add more tools, right? But these are the tools that we've given this one in particular. Just to kind of give you a little sneak peek. So some examples of tools. Some basic tools an agent can have are sending emails, creating calendar events, retrieving documents from like Google Drive or something, updating and creating tasks, searching the web, scraping websites, etc. There's an unlimited amount of tools that we can give this thing because we can build our tools custom made. And we'll get into that later, but let's get into prompts. So prompts. Prompt engineering is usually laughed at by the layman, but it is extremely important, especially when it comes to agents, because it's what gives them the instructions on what exactly to do. So really strong prompts always include a clear objective, like monitor this inbox, right? That's your objective. Monitor the inbox. Context. What is its role inside your business? And what is the contextual information that it needs to know in order to like accomplish that task, right? Specific instructions. So monitor the inbox. Okay, but how do I actually do that, right? Give it instructions on how to do that. Output requirements. Okay, I'm monitoring the inbox. I did what you said. What am I supposed to output now? What am I supposed to say? And then examples, especially when you want it to write emails for you, generate content, do anything. Examples are extremely key. Even if it's not like generate content or something, even if it's like monitor the inbox, give it examples of emails that it should filter out or trash or whatever, right? And then integrations. Your agents should be plugged into your existing tech stack. They should be the glue between all of your platforms and eventually replace some of them. That's my thought. I think agents eventually will replace SaaS as it exists today, like off-the-shelf SaaS products that you just sign up for. I don't think will exist in the near future, besides maybe like specific databases or whatever. But when you're building these agents, you should be asking, what data does this agent need to accomplish their task? Where is this data? Where does the agent need to output their results? And which APIs do I need? Which APIs do I need to connect all this together, right? You should be asking, what would a human need in order to fulfill their job description, right? What do I need to give them in order for them to do really, really well at their job? It's the same concept with AI agents. So let's talk about the platforms. We build our agents using three main platforms. We keep it super, super, super simple. We use OpenAI, ChatGPT Plus, about $20 a month, plus usage. Usage for us doesn't really get above $50 a month, and 50 is like on the high end, on the very high end. If you have multiple teams, multiple people, the usage can get higher than $50, but realistically, it doesn't really climb past $20 a month when it comes to usage, right? Pinecone, that's where we build our database. That's free. In8n, that's where we actually build the agents and the tools for the agents. It's the most important thing. And none of these platforms require you to know how to code. They're all no code, which means that anyone can build agents. It's super easy to pick up. There might be a 2-week learning curve, right, if you're really trying to learn. But realistically, anybody can build these agents, which means that this entire movement, this whole AI revolution, everything about it is one of the most democratized revolutions out there, or that has ever happened. Technological revolutions that has ever happened. That might be a big claim, but I don't know. I think it is. I think it is probably the most democratized technological revolution that has ever happened. I'm going to make that claim. Okay, OpenAI. So we use OpenAI's GPT-4o model almost 100% of the time. We do not switch models in and out. We stick with OpenAI because they're the industry leader. They're the whole reason we're even talking about this to begin with. And every time, even if another company comes out with a new model that surpasses OpenAI's, most recent model that they came out with, OpenAI is just going to come out with their new groundbreaking model just a few months after that. So it's really like OpenAI is ahead. Okay, they're like slightly ahead, and then OpenAI is ahead, and then they're slightly ahead. So instead of switching models in and out and trying to be super clever about it, we're just going to stick with the industry leader, the people that we know their model works. They're constantly ahead of the pack. We're just going to stick with that. Again, we're not trying to outsmart the system. We just want to use something that's reliable and works, right? Pinecone. This is where we build our vector databases. It's extremely reliable. Thousands of engineers use it, but we're not loyal to Pinecone like we are with OpenAI. There could be a new database provider that's way better than Pinecone, and we'll happily switch over. But for now, Pinecone has been the easiest to get up and running, and it has been the most reliable for us. So we stick with Pinecone for now. And In8n, it's the primary platform for building our agents. It allows us to build no-code automations and then use those automations as tools to hook them up to the agent. So like we build an automation that, like, let's say it's a content repurposing automation, right? Big content, big blog article, it repurposes it into a bunch of different pieces of content, and then maybe it posts that content as well. We could package that up as just like one tool and give it to an agent to call whenever it needs, right? This gives us a ton of flexibility and allows us to build highly customized AI agents for our unique workflows. It's not off the shelf. They also have the most intuitive and robust AI features on the market. There's a bunch of players out there trying to build platforms for building AI agents or frameworks for building AI agents. From what we found, pretty much trying all of those platforms, is In8n it's just the best. And it's a little bit more technical than platforms like Zapier and Make, but if you're familiar with those, picking up In8n will be super, super easy. And our whole thought process behind this is simplify, simplify, simplify. Use as few platforms as you need. Let's try to make this as cheap as possible. And let's just not overcomplicate it, right? So AI agents versus automations. This is talking about designing your agents. A common misunderstanding about AI agents is that they're not much different from regular automations, but this is far from the truth. AI agents are closer to a virtual assistant than they are to like a Zapier-like automation. If you were to hire a virtual assistant, you would first give them their job description and instructions on how to do their job, and then you give them the tools that they need to accomplish their tasks. An AI agent works the exact same way. You should be thinking workflows, not tasks. Agents have the ability to complete multi-step tasks to complete a larger workflow. So a workflow can be like, creating and posting or following up with all of the leads that join the webinar, right? That's like a workflow. But a part of that workflow is going to the lead list, extracting the email, writing the follow-up email, sending it, going back to the lead list, getting the next one. So there are many tasks inside that workflow. And what we want to think of is workflows, not tasks. So for example, let's say you had an agent that was managing your inbox. This is kind of a broad workflow, right? Manage my inbox. Okay, cool. But we can break this down into smaller tasks, like reading an incoming email, reading an outgoing email, categorizing emails, saving the email data in the correct place, notifying you if need be, replying to emails, sending emails, etc. In order for it to do all of those tasks, we need to give it tools, like email tools, sending an email, reply to an email, get many emails. Those are email tools. Database tools, update database, get database data, database tools. Calendar tools, get calendar event, create a calendar event, update a calendar event. Those are calendar tools, right? So there's 3 tools right there, where each tool you can take various different actions, right? We set up these tools in a specific way. But for the agent to just monitor your inbox, we need to give it the tools that it needs to do that, right? And then obviously the prompts will allow you to instruct the agent on how to use the tools and do what it needs to do, right? New email arrives in the inbox, the prompt will tell the agent what to do. So building AI agent teams. Now imagine you want to delegate an entire job function to an agent. Well, most jobs aren't just one workflow. They're a series of ongoing workflows that may change or evolve over time. Theoretically, you could insert a massive prompt and give one agent hundreds of tools to use. But frankly, the technology is just not there yet for a huge, robust agent like that just runs your whole business, just one agent. It's not possible yet. So what we do is we build AI agent teams where each agent is responsible for one workflow, right? We don't want to overload the agents. We just build one agent. You're responsible for this workflow. Here are the tools you need to accomplish that workflow. Go, right? And so if it's like many workflows that you need done, we're just going to build many, many different agents to do those workflows. So for example, you want to build a team of agents that can automate your marketing funnel and lead generation. Start by asking, what are the actions that a human would take to accomplish this? Well, they'd start by setting up the funnel and driving leads towards that funnel. That's probably something that you should still be doing. But then as leads enter the funnel, they'd capture the lead information, they'd research the lead, they'd follow up with personalized touch points, they'd qualify any leads that are interested, and they'd book the call, right? So many different things that are happening with just lead generation activities, right? But if you want to have an agent do this instead of a human, you would need one agent that enriches your leads. You need one agent that nurtures your leads. And you need one agent that qualifies your leads and books them on your calendar. Let's assume you already have an email monitoring agent. These agents work autonomously and each are triggered by a different event. So let's zoom out a little bit. You have your funnel working. It's bringing in new leads to your CRM to get added to your lead list. And when a new lead is added, the lead enrichment agent starts searching the web for any information it can find on the lead and then saves that information into the CRM. So we've enriched that lead. We have more info on that lead than we did before. Then your lead nurturing agent is using that information to craft highly personalized messages to send to the lead. And these messages can include content pieces, case studies, trainings, videos, success stories, anything that it thinks would resonate with the lead based on the information that was gathered from the lead enrichment agent, right? Then your inbox management agent is monitoring your inbox for any responses, period. But then it sees a response from the lead. It says, oh, okay, this is a response from the lead. I'm not going to identify whether it was positive or not. I'm going to kick that to the lead qualification agent and have it do the rest. So the lead qualification agent gets it, reads the email. The email says, oh, I'm not interested. Okay, fine. That's okay. Don't have to respond. But it says, hey, I'm interested, but how long is it going to take you guys to finish a project like this? They're asking a specific question. Lead qualification agent has access to that data, has a knowledge base of information, and answers. Maybe another question's asked, then it answers. And then the person says, okay, this sounds interesting. Do you have any time to meet, like tomorrow? And then the lead qualification agent goes, checks your calendar, finds availability, and sends it back. Hey, I do have some time tomorrow. Anytime between 2 and 3:30. Perfectly fine for me. Okay, cool. I'm open at 2 o'clock. Okay, great. Here's a calendar event, 2 o'clock, boom. New qualified lead on your calendar, right? If the lead's fully qualified, the agent will find calendar availability and book the meeting, right? So throughout this process, from cold lead to a booked meeting, your actual only involvement as the human is actually creating the funnel and the content at the top of the funnel, and then the actual sales call at the end of the funnel. So all of the nurturing, warming them up, getting them prepped for a sales call, and then filtering out anybody who's not qualified and booking a call with the actual qualified lead at the end of it. the entire lead gen process from cold to booked call is being handled by your team of AI agents, and your only point of entry is actually creating the content, creating the stuff that's going to drive the leads to your ecosystem, and actually hopping on the sales call at the end of the day. And you might want to ask yourself, how much revenue have you lost because you didn't stay on top of your leads? Doing tons of content, building a lead list, but you're just not in the lead list, like reaching out to people, or you're kind of just hoping that what you had posted that one time, the reason why they even entered the lead list to begin with, was going to get them to book a call right away. You were just hoping content to book call or cold email to book call, boom, right away. No warm-up process in between. The truth is, you get a lot of leads in your lead list. People aren't ready to hop on a call right away. They want to get warmed up. They want to learn more about you. But you just don't have the bandwidth or the time to go and do all of that stuff, right? Have your team of agents do that. Instead of hiring an SDR or VA to do that, you should have agents do that. Much cheaper. They work 24/7, right? They're more reliable in a lot of ways. So before asking, who do I need to hire for this? You should be asking, can I delegate an agent to this? And this might be the most important slide, because this is where the future is going. Every business owner, every agency owner, every manager is probably thinking, or is probably going to think in the next couple of years, how can an agent do this for me? Rather than, who do I need to hire? Do we have the budget to hire somebody? What's the job description of what I need to hire, right? Who is the right person for this role? More like, how can I build an agent to accurately fulfill this job function for me, right? That's the switch that's going to happen here in the next couple of years. And if you get started now, you're getting started early, right? Because nobody's really talking about this yet. If you're capable of scaling your business, you would have already done so. We've built our businesses by working long hours, handling everything ourselves, and now that it's time to scale, it feels impossible to do so without spending more money or hiring more people. Hiring new employees is an expensive and time-consuming headache. They also have lives outside of work. They require managing and training, and expect a raise every year. Everyone knows the downsides of hiring more people, right? People are people. They always will be. Maybe you already know that AI can be a huge unlock for your business. Maybe you've even tried many of the new AI products, only to be led down a maze of overhype, confusing frameworks, and products that oversell and underdeliver. How many times have you seen a really cool demo on Twitter or LinkedIn or something, or YouTube, and went and signed up and tried it out, and your output is like 60% worse than what the demo showed, right? It's happened to all of us at this point. In a world flooded with AI hype and subpar solutions, you just need something straightforward and effective. You don't have time to become an AI expert. All you really need is an AI solution that delivers big profits at low cost. The whole point is just using AI to make our business more money by saving our team time, and taking on initiatives that we just don't have the bandwidth to take on right now. That's the entire point of this whole thing, right? Which is why we created our own custom AI agent framework, and why we're offering to fully build you your first custom AI agent that can reliably complete any workflow inside your business, right? And so what does this look like? What we're going to do is we're going to start by building you a contextual master database. This is that vector database that's going to collect all of the information that's streaming in and out of your business. It'll also have a knowledge base of information about your current business, and then we'll also fill it with contextual information over the last 3 to 6 months of information, right? And then we're going to set up the data capture and RAG automations that are going to be on 24/7 on the back end, retrieving information and adding it to the database so that way your agents are 100% up to date on what's going on, right? They have the contextual information they need all the way up to the most recent minute or second, right? And then we're actually going to build you a custom agent that can reliably complete any workflow inside your business. So if you have a workflow that you've been thinking of this entire time, man, I really wish I had the time, or I really wish I had somebody to reach out to a bunch of podcast hosts and try to get me on their podcasts. It's like, well, let's build an agent to do that for you, right? Let's build an agent that can research. Let's build an agent that can, the same agent, that can send emails. And let's also give it the ability to schedule appointments. Like, why not build an agent to do some of these initiatives that you know that you've been, that you should be doing? Why not build an agent to do that stuff for you now, right? We finally have the technology and the ability to do that stuff. So if you want to get involved, if you want to get your first agent, this is what comes included. We're going to build you the full vector database. We're going to build you the data capture and RAG automations, and we're going to build you the custom agent with up to 5 tools, right? And a tool can be an entire automated workflow, right? Some people charge thousands of dollars for what we're just calling tools. And that's $33,000 of value if you were going to go the traditional developer route, right? The fancy AI software developer that's commanding $1 million a year in salary, they can build you the same thing, but it's going to cost you about $33,000. We'll build it for only $2,750. Partly the reason why it's cheap is we built a lot of these stuff before. So we know what we're doing. We know how to plug and play pretty quick. These are no code platforms. It doesn't require setting up a coding environment and actually hard coding these agents. And in general, we want more people to hop on the AI agent train now and as fast as possible. We want to make it cheap enough so people can say, okay, yeah, that's affordable. Let me get my first agent. Let's see how it works, and then continue to build agents after that. We fully believe that this is the future. This is where things are going. All of our businesses are going to be supported and backed by AI agents within the next 5 years. It's almost an inevitability at this point, and we want to be on the front lines of pulling that future into reality as fast as possible, right? This stuff is awesome. If you can't tell, we absolutely love it. We've been involved in the AI space from top to bottom, from chatbots to agents, and this is the first time where it really feels like what we build here will not become obsolete 6 months later when OpenAI updates their model, right? This is where AI is going. And we're going to build you your entire custom agent within 30 days, which is about 7 weeks faster than the traditional developer. Usually the traditional developer would probably take about 8 weeks to do this. We'll do it within 30 days, right? And that's building it, testing it, handing it off to you, maintaining support for a period of time to make sure that things are operating the way you want them to. We don't, we make any changes that need to be made, whatever needs to happen. And then full handoff going live. They're working for your business, right? 30 days. Let's say you want ongoing support. Let's say you love the agent that we built. You want to build more agents, and you want to be that person that's operating a business almost 80 to 90% autonomously with AI agents, and you want to be the first founder to run a single person $10 million company, right? Which is going to happen. We'll maintain your current agents and add more tools to them if need be for only $750 a month. Super cheap. And then any new agents that you need, we generally charge about $1,500 per agent. And generally, what we're calling agents is an agent with up to about 5 tools, right? Start giving it more tools, you start to push the envelope a little bit too far. But we give it about 5 tools that it can use, really clear instructions. It can accomplish a pretty complex workflow. That's what we call about one agent. And we generally charge about $1,500 per agent. But let's say we built you your first agent. You just kind of want support, make sure if anything breaks that we're there to fix it. Or you want to add new tools to an existing agent, $750 a month. Pretty affordable just to keep your team going, right? So if you're interested in getting started with your first agent, you want to talk more about AI agents, you want to talk about your workflows in general, see if AI agents are the right solution for you, or you just want to chat in general about AI and where the space is going, feel free to book a call below, and let's chat. I'd love to talk to you.